Welcome to the No New Friends podcast, the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. In this episode, we discuss the wedding that I went to in Northampton, Massachusetts. My wife set me up to have some responsibility, take some responsibility, and adult, and I completely failed. There's a lot of funny stories and shenanigans from my weekend there. Also, Mary had a delayed flight, or should I say a canceled flight. So she talks about her adventures through the Newark airport as well as her girls' weekend. Also, today is a very special day. Today is Jared's birthday. So Jared shares his plans with us and also our very first content creator spotlight featuring none other than the birthday boy himself, Jared. And now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. We go to the rehearsal, and like I've been in a couple weddings, but like at this age, we all know what to do and all that. I didn't know I was going to be the behavior problem.
So I'm just pretexting. You text us with this and said who knew I was going to be the behavior problem. And I'm pretty sure we both were like, us two in the back. Like we knew actually 100%.
Literally only you didn't know that.
Yes, I don't. Okay, continue on, sir.
So what had happened was
What happened? You're a victim of circumstance.
I am a victim of circumstance. The funny thing, Mary, I said that about 5 times this weekend. I said I'm a victim of circumstance.
Bet you
and they loved it. They loved it. I said, if you like that, you can hear it every episode on the No New Friends podcast.
Oh my God, you are the worst.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You are listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. As always, please connect with us. All of our links are right there in the show notes. The episode description is that Linktree link. You can follow us on Facebook, the Instagram, YouTube, and all that good stuff. If you listen to Apple, give us a 5-star review. Join our Patreon, where from now until the end of November, we're going to be donating all of our Patreon subscription money straight to the Gina McReynolds Foundation. That's teamgina.org. My name is Scott. I am your host. With me, as always, my co-host. I'm an architect for her pain, the queen of the sunrail, Mary. And our producer, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
That's my secret captain. I'm always angry.
Oh, that's Incredible Hulk.
I have.
And that would be in the first Avengers movie.
Yes. You scared me when you said Incredible Hulk. I thought you were going to say the Incredible Hulk movie.
No. That is the first Avengers movie. Great movie.
I couldn't name one quote from the Incredible Hulk.
Smash.
No, neither.
That was a really good guess. Really good guess. I did a good job.
Are you caught up on Marvel What If?
No, my last episode I watched was... I didn't watch Party Thor yet. That's not
that
one I was like, can't wait to watch Party Thor.
I'm going to tell you, Chris, and I heard you guys talking about it on Diz how much you hate Thor Dark World. So Party Thor was probably my favorite episode so far. It was
really
so funny. Yes.
Oh, I'm going to watch it for sure.
It's so funny.
But I just wasn't sure about it.
Yeah, it's really funny. And then the last 30 seconds were fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, the last 30 seconds, because the whole time it's like, well, okay, what is this? Like, what? All the other episodes have been so dramatic, and this was not. And the last 30 seconds were like, what just happened? So
I think I got spoiled, so I think I know what you're talking about, but
you probably do because it's all over the place. Mary, you're not caught up on What If, are you?
Not even close.
That's okay.
Are you kidding me? There was a new docuseries that came out on Netflix about Billy Milligan. And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm real busy right now. Deep dove into that.
Are you caught up on our
episodes? Also watched the trailer.
Did you listen
to
what? Did you listen to Emotional Support Eagle, our episode with Joe from Disney?
I'm sorry. The audio must be breaking up on this.
Well, I
I
have an
did
update.
listen. I listened to the sign for ants.
Because you're on
So
that one.
Well, look. Okay.
This
no,
is why
all
our,
right.
our show count is so low, Chris, when she's not on.
Is it because I don't
Yeah,
listen to
that's-
it? That
that's
doesn't
it.
mean I'm one person.
She sends out a
That's
memo
it.
to all of her people. She's like, I'm
Yeah,
not
email
on,
blast.
don't
I don't-
bother.
I don't
Yeah.
have any people.
Okay. Anyway,
I do have an update from the Emotional Sport Eagle episode. So that was a couple weeks ago. We talked about on that episode how I semi-successfully converted Joe, who is a Giants fan. I almost successfully converted his son into an Eagles fan, right? So it was a joke, and he said "Go Eagles," and he got real mad. Well, that was a couple weeks ago. Last night, Joe texted me saying, I can't do this. Nick's telling me he likes the Eagles and the Giants.
Yes!
He's like, no, he's like, I'm showing him a picture of the division. I'm telling him you can't do this. He's like, I told him this story about Santa and that I'm afraid he's going to start throwing batteries at me.
That is, I almost feel like, and I had nothing to do with this, but I feel like I'm getting back at my brother-in-law through you and poor Joe. And also, this is because Joe loves animal movies when the animal dies. So this
That's
is
true.
kind of,
That is true.
the return.
Wait, he loves when the animal dies?
He loves,
Yeah,
so,
you didn't hear?
oh, you got to listen
Oh.
to the episode, Mary. It's a really good episode.
Oh my
I don't
God,
want to
I'm really
rehash the
lost
entire
right now.
episode here.
Yeah, I'll just listen to it.
There you go.
tomorrow
Perfect.
On the train.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got so much to get to tonight. I can't believe that we've been bantering for about 5 minutes because
We
there's
have.
so
I'm
much to
sorry.
get to. No, it's quite all right. So I went to a wedding this week, and it was, first of all, to recap, it was a fantastic wedding at a really cool venue in a beautiful little town in Massachusetts called Northampton, Massachusetts. Very colonial. It's like right by Smith College. Very old. The weather was beautiful. He got married at a train station. It was called Union Station Banquets. So Jared,
Oh, wow.
our Patreon, I took some pictures for you, and I'll send them to you. It was super, super cute, but a lot of things happened, and I'm so happy to be podcasting, and I'm a content creator now because there's so much that happened. So first of all, my wife put me in charge of booking the plane and the rental car. Okay. Now we did it through I've booked a rental car before, but we were doing everything through our Amex account. So
Mhm.
of course I waited till last minute, and
Wait, is Rachel okay?
yeah, why?
Oh, well, I just figured the only way that she would leave you in charge of anything is if she was like deathly sick.
I don't know why she left me in charge. I think she was trying to challenge
I think
me
it was
as
a
human.
science. I think it was like a social experiment just to
Yeah.
see
She was trying to make me a
what could
better
happen.
person. Yeah, and
Or
we-
make herself a better person. She's trying to. It's a lesson in patience and understanding, I think.
well, she definitely got to learn patience and understanding during this.
It's like when you let your children do things for the first time. Like you're like there behind them, but like, whoa,
Yeah,
whole
she's like, I gotta let
you
him
know?
learn. I gotta let him learn. I can't just swoop in and do it for him.
Yeah, you listen. It's time for you to spread your wings and book your own flight. You know, Like,
I tell people all the time, I'm like, yeah, this is my wife, and she's a saint because she's got 4 children. 3 of them are actual children, and then I'm the 4th. I'm the man child. So I took forever. I waited forever to book the flight. So she had to swoop in, and of course, there were 0 connecting flights from Orlando
God.
to Hartford, Connecticut, which is where we were landing. And I'll get to the flights in a minute. So with the car rental, so as of this past Tuesday, 4 days before we're about to leave, we fly out Friday morning. She's like, have you booked the rental car yet? And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. I'll do it today. No. Everything in Hartford, Connecticut is sold out for the weekend.
Oh my God.
looks like a lot of Ubering.
Well, we are going through every single site, Expedia, Travelocity, the individual sites. I'm calling people trying to beg for a favor. And they're like, well, the closest we could get is Avis could drive us from the airport to their other location in downtown Hartford. And then we could get it there. Look, this was a learning opportunity for me, but more importantly, it was a learning opportunity for my wife for 2 reasons. 1, don't put any responsibility on me whatsoever. 2, we found this amazing app called Turo, which is like Airbnb for cars.
Oh,
Well,
really?
I'm gonna stop you right there, sir.
Okay, go for it.
So you basically rent your car,
Yeah.
like your car.
So
to
like right
people.
now,
How does that work for insurance purposes?
I'm sure you have to, add super duper insurance. Like it probably jacks your insurance up. But we
I
rented.
think they have their
Duper
own
insurance,
insurance.
is that a type of, is that a specific plan you can select?
Yeah.
Super duper.
Super duper
How
Yeah,
is
the
Uber.
super duper.
It's right. It's
I'd
full
like
coverage
the
and then also
ludicrous
super duper.
package.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Wait, so I would never be able to do that unless someone really likes snacks and they wanted to eat them off of my back seat. It wouldn't work.
Well, yeah.
My car's disgusting.
Well, so I thought, I'm not working. I don't need my car. I just need to clean it up a little bit, get it detailed. I'm going to put this.
Clean it up a little bit. I am also going to stop you right there, sir. Do you remember the last time I rode with you? I had to like sit on on stuff.
Yeah. There's a
Get it.
mountain. There's a mountain of empty Diet Coke fountain soda cups that you have to climb over to get into my car. So we found this Ventura, and look, we got to rent a BMW X5 for
nice.
the exact
whip.
same amount of money that we would have been renting a crappy car from Enterprise. And you don't
That's
have
really cool.
Yeah, you don't have to do a check-in. You just communicate with the owner through the app, and they're like, okay, it's in row D5. Here's where the key's at. Let me know if you need
D5. Wait, is there like there's a facility? I thought you would just roll
that's
up
the
to their
parking
house
garage.
and they're like, here's the keys.
They parked the car in the parking garage at the airport, and they told us what row it was in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you don't have to
Wait, so do you have to
Go ahead.
Sorry, do you have to return it with a specific amount of gas in it?
Yeah.
A rental car?
You do the same thing as a rental car. They want it wiped down and vacuumed before you return it. But the hassle of having to go to the counter when you're doing the rental thing is a bitch, and you get to avoid all that.
Oh my goodness, renting cars is a thing of the past.
Yeah, it's amazing. So all weekend I've been looking at my wife, and I'm like, "You're welcome." Like,
now look, I'm not going to stand for this, sir. Absolutely not.
So with the flights, I waited too long. So we flew from Orlando to Atlanta, and our next flight from Atlanta to Hartford was 45 minutes after we landed in Atlanta. If you're familiar with the Atlanta airport is probably one of the largest airports known to man. Okay. We landed in Terminal F. We had to go to Terminal A, and we had 20 minutes.
He landed in Terminal F, as in.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, I hope there's enough time, because in Atlanta, there's smoking areas in the terminal at some of the restaurants. No, there was no time. In fact, I felt like in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, when Steve Rogers is running around and keeps passing Sam Wilson and goes, on your left. That was me running up the escalator. Okay. We had to Usain Bolt it through the airport. Chris, I haven't run that fast since I was in track in high school, and that was like 20 years ago. I thought I was going to die. Like, Rachel and I sat down. We made the plane with about 2 minutes to spare, and right before we taxi off, we see them throwing our luggage into the plane.
Oh my God.
It was awful. But one great thing
you made it.
We made it, and we're better people as a result. I've learned not to. And then on the return, I'll get to that later. So we got to Orlando Airport super early, and we're Amex holders, so we got to go to the Delta Sky Lounge. Let me tell you about luxury. There was free booze, free food. It is like this beautiful lounge. And
yeah, I
So
know.
tell me something.
I saw Scott.
Do you just need an American Express card, or do you have like the black card?
No, so we have a platinum. I think it's for gold and above can get into.
Okay, gotcha.
But you have to have a Delta flight. Now, some airports have their own Amex lounge. Like MCO has an MCO, or Orlando International Airport has their own lounge, and then there's the Delta Sky Lounge. And then also, if you're a Delta Sky Club member, then you also get to go to this. So it's not just Amex,
gotcha.
but if you have the Delta credit card. So it was like really, really nice. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is living it up.
I just want to make a side story here. Scott decided to FaceTime me while he was living it up and having cocktails and snacks. And this was during my 16-hour stint at the Newark airport, where nothing was free.
It is in the Delta Sky Lounge.
Look, I didn't fly Delta, so my kids aren't going to go to college now because of the bar tab I accumulated at the Newark airport. But continue on, Scott. You're a great friend.
No problem. I like to fly, but I also get really nervous on flights. I have to drink. So there's no booze on the shorter flight.
Do you really get nervous, or do you use that as an excuse
Mary,
to drink on flights?
We're gonna cut this part out. We're gonna cut this part out.
We're gonna cut this out. We're gonna cut this part out.
So there was no booze on the flight from Orlando to Atlanta, which was very disappointing. Now it's only a 58-minute flight, but when we were in the Delta Lounge, like I'm on the phone with Mary, and we've got 10 minutes before we have got to start boarding, and I am out of beer. And I look at Rachel, and I'm like, I'm gonna get another beer. She's like, we've got 10 minutes before we take off, and I'm like, hold my beer. I finished that thing in 10 minutes. Like, there's not a beer that goes to waste around me. So we run through Atlanta Airport. We land in Hartford, Connecticut, and immediately we're hit with cooler air. Like I said, it was a beautiful town. We're driving through mountains. Like, elevation is exciting to me. The only elevation that I see here is the pile of Diet Coke cups in my recycle
I was
bin.
gonna say
I love
the
how you're calling them
landfill.
mountains. It's like hills.
Yeah, rolling hills.
No, we were
landfill.
like in the like part of.
Wait, where were you?
In Massachusetts. We were in Northampton, Massachusetts, which is just outside of Springfield. So it
Yeah.
was part of the Appalachian chain that we could see, like the smaller part of the Appalachian chain, but it was the Appalachian chain.
Did you run? Did anybody come to visit you from said Appalachian
No.
trail?
Oh
No,
my gosh,
no,
like,
but-
they heard we were talking about him.
Let me tell you. So, I've lived in Florida my entire life. I've lived in Orlando my entire life. So there's a couple things that I learned. Beautiful town, fresh mountain air. COVID is very real up north. Like, it's
Amazing, isn't
we
it?
talk about it all the time, and we joke about how it's not real here in Florida, and it's real to Mary and I, and it's real to like our families and all that. I've never seen it be so real since like March of last year. I mean, there's still permanent painting on the ground to anywhere that you go for 6 feet distance. Anytime you go inside, or even on an outside patio, you have to wear the mask until it's appropriate for you to take it off. I was like, wow, COVID is real here. It's amazing. It was a little bit inspirational.
It's so funny that you say that because so I go to Whole Foods today, pick up something for dinner, and I forgot my mask at home. Now, masks aren't required. They're recommended. So it's like I felt so guilty walking into the supermarket to grab something real quick without a mask on. And then you're like amazed at the little
Jeez, Chris, stop the
placards they
spread,
still-
okay?
I know. We're gonna cut that out. But I didn't do that
We're
today.
gonna cut that out. I didn't do it. Oh, I do too, though. I do the same thing. Like, I'm fully vaccinated, and you don't have to wear a mask, but nope, all the way on,
Mhm.
doing
I still
it,
wear
and
it.
I do feel bad if I forget it.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
So not only is COVID real in Northampton, Massachusetts, but the weed game is real in Northampton, Massachusetts, because marijuana is legal. Recreational marijuana is legal in Massachusetts. And
It is.
let me tell you about places where it's legal. They flaunt that it's legal because everywhere you go, it's like, okay, COVID's real, but just in case, we're going to give you opportunities to test your sense of smell. And here's our waft of exhale. Oh my God.
What a sentence. Here's a waft of exhale. What? Well, since you're not currently working, did you dabble? Or
No,
did you-
I didn't. I didn't.
No. Okay.
No,
do we need to like cut out the real answer? Or?
No, the real
No.
answer is no, and the real answer is complicated as to why not. But
Is it
I'll
your
share that some other
testicular
time.
cancer?
Yeah, maybe I should. It would have taken care of that. So also about that town, everything shuts down at like 8 or 9 o'clock, unless it's a bar. Like, everything is shut down. Everything is shut down.
Lovely.
So we go to this restaurant at the bottom of the at the hotel. It's in the hotel, and we just ordered a couple appetizers, and the food was pretty good except for the nachos. The nachos were, it's like when the cheese was melted but not melted. It was like crispy brown and just disgusting.
Ugh.
And the reason why I bring this up is every person that I met or spoke to the rest of the weekend knows not to eat the nachos at that restaurant, because that's all I said. I kept saying, don't eat
They
the nachos.
should have put it on the invite. Why didn't they put it on like the invite?
They didn't
like
know.
this is where the the hotel like room block is. This is where you need to park. Don't order nachos.
Don't eat the nachos at the
Also,
hotel.
the stankiest weed is at this corner. Like that's what the
Right,
wedding invitation
right.
should have said.
So we were so exhausted because we were excited about flying. We woke up at like 5:30 in the morning. So we were on our own. The bride and groom, they were at his parents' house in Boston. So
Very romantic.
yeah, very romantic. So we were kind of on our own. So we're like, oh, let's check out one of these bars and all that. So we started eating dinner. And I look at her, she looks at me and she's like, can we just go to bed? And I'm like, abso-freaking-lutely. So we went upstairs to the hotel room and like I wanted to make sure that we stayed up till at least 9 because then if not, I'm gonna be up at 3:00 in the morning. So we went to bed and I know it is now the holiday season because the greatest Christmas story ever told was on television. We got bedtime stories straight from Nakatomi Tower because we watched Die Hard.
Oh,
That is
man.
greatest.
Nothing gets you in the spirit like some Die Hard.
Exactly.
I agree.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to finish off with Saturday, Sunday, and Monday real quick because Mary's got a ton of stories from her weekend as well. So it's going to be a longer episode. We hope you enjoy it. It should be very, very funny. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Do you like Disney? Do you love finding out fun facts about your favorite attractions or restaurants? Then you must try Diz Hiz, the Disney History Podcast. Joe, Alex, and Jen will keep you entertained as they deep dive into all things Disney. Visit DizHiz.com or follow us on all social media at DizHiz65. We even have a YouTube channel. Just search Diz Hiz anywhere, and I hope you give us a listen.
Hey, New Friends listeners. If you're anything like me, you don't have the desire or time to clean your own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the last 5 to 6 years. They are your one-stop shop for all of your cleaning needs. They do commercial, house cleaning, vacation homes, post-construction, party cleanup, deep cleaning, move-in or move-out, pressure washing, laundry, inside cabinets, fridge, oven, and much more. Call them today, 407-928-4595. Check them out on Facebook or their website, ibelieveservices.us.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Please join our Patreon, where all of our membership subscription money for the month of till the end of November is going to go straight to the Gina McReynolds Foundation. That's teamgina.org. So please join us, and then you can join us in studio like Jared. We've got some contests coming up in different episodes, and just connect with us and join our Patreon. It's a great deal. So right before the break, we were kind of finishing up Friday night, the first night that we were there, and
long day.
It was a very long day and a lot of stuff. And, some of it was the pre-trip where I screwed up on the rental.
There were a lot of lessons learned up until that moment, right? Like pre-book, don't eat nachos.
Yep.
Get some cardio in so you can run through terminals. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of learning opportunity.
Yeah.
So, my wife, and she's a control enthusiast in the best way possible. Okay, she just loves to be involved, loves to help, etc., etc. So we're at the rehearsal on Saturday. Rehearsal was at noon, and we're all boozing it up beforehand. At one point, I hear the groom say to me, "Well, hey, we're probably going to need Rachel's help on stuff." Rachel reverse Homer Simpson's out of the bushes. She was a mystical figure just appearing out of nowhere.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah, it was reverse Homer Simpson out of the bushes.
Wait, but we're okay. I need to know. Did she just hear the battle cry, or she heard the horn go off, and she just shows up, swoops in?
Exactly. I kept saying, I'm like, this is great. You guys, if you put her to work, I'm definitely getting laid tonight. So let's get this going.
Nothing really gets me worked up and turned on being tasked things at someone's wedding.
She freaking loves it. She
That is
freaking
the greatest.
loves it.
The greatest form of foreplay is, hey, can you help me with what?
Yeah, forget about, hey babe, I got the dishes, or I'm going to Publix, or whatever.
It's the opposite.
No, I know. But
Which is why you guys get along so well, because you are helpless and she just has to help you all the time.
That's probably why she wanted you to do the rental cars. Like, oh, let's see
she's
how
like,
well
oh,
we can
yeah.
help someone. Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see how much help he asks for. Oh, yeah.
All right, for Rachel, this episode never existed.
No, okay.
Right.
So she reverse Homer Simpson's like the damn unicorn that she is.
Exactly. And she couldn't wait. So the groom says, hey, we're going to need some people here tomorrow morning, the day of the wedding, at 10:30 in the morning to help set up. So of course, like, we're there at 4:00 in the morning. Like, where is everybody? And I'm like, babe, like, we're way early. It wasn't 4, but it was early. Like, she loves to get places early. But she was so
early
excited.
is on time is late is unacceptable.
Yeah, but like there's a certain amount of early, Mary, that's really early and a little bit embarrassing. We're nerds. So we go to the rehearsal, and like, I've been in a couple weddings, but like, at this age, we all know what to do and all that. I didn't know I was going to be the behavior problem.
Okay, so I'm just pretexting. You text us with this and said, who knew I was going to be the behavior problem? And I'm pretty sure we both were like, us two in the back. Like, we knew, actually, 100%.
Literally only you didn't know that.
Yes, I don't. Okay, continue on, sir.
So what had happened was
what happened? You're a victim of circumstance.
I am a victim of circumstance. The funny thing, Mary, I said that about 5 times this weekend. I said I'm a victim of circumstance. And they loved it. They loved it. I said, if you like that, you could hear it every episode on the No New Friends podcast.
Oh my God, you are the worst.
So the best man, he was a major goofball. Like, I met him at the bachelor party and all that. So I was like, I've got to elevate my game so that I can be the funniest one here. It's kind of like, in Hamilton, why do you assume you're the smartest in the room? Well, it's like, why do I assume I'm the funniest in the room? But I needed to be. And like, he was like super serious. And I'm like, wait a second. Now I'm a jackass because I'm making the jokes. I'm causing the disruptions. And Rachel's there, and Rachel is giving me the look, the mom look.
So then she did the real Homer Simpson, and she just disappeared. She's a real Homer Simpson.
She's yelling.
He's probably being super sentimental. Right? He's probably being super sentimental, saying all these nice things, and you just shout out from the back, that's what she said, right?
Yes, exactly. Or I'm yelling across the room, hey babe, I'm out of beer. Can you hook it up? Like, let's go. I told her, I said, you've got a very important job during the rehearsal dinner. And then like, as soon as the ceremony's over, because we go right into pictures, I need a beer. Now this place was on point. They had a wedding party, like cocktail table set up for us. So all I had to do was grab a beer and then do pictures, which was freaking fantastic. So yeah,
Scott's eyes are half closed in every picture because of that.
Well, that's the thing, is we were pretty much always at a bar, whether it was the bar at Union Station or at the bar at the hotel, which closed at 9 p.m. Yeah, I mean, the amount of money that hotel would make if they actually served good nachos and kept the bar open late would be incredible.
True.
So we're at this bar, and it was a really cute bar, and I told the nacho story about 6 times to people, to just random strangers.
And they're like, you don't say.
So we're setting up at the rehearsal dinner, or the rehearsal, and they've got these big coolers full of ice cream, like very heavy coolers. So I'm like,
my God.
Hold on, let me go find a dolly. That's my way of getting out of working. It's like,
I feel like also this is your dream of like running the ice cream truck, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you're going to load it up and like turn on some music.
You know what's funny is
ready.
I did not, they had a huge ice cream bar and I didn't try any ice cream.
What?
Ice cream and beer doesn't typically go
It doesn't.
well
The last time in fact, I think you were with me the last time I tried. Yes,
unfortunately, that's why I said that. And I have a picture of your face right before. I'm pretty sure you're going to projectile vomit on my face.
Scott's used the ice cream. Yeah, not enough kids around.
So we do the rehearsal dinner, and the food was so good, so good, but it was a lot of it. They were
Way better than those nachos.
Way better than the nachos. They were very generous with the portions. And in the middle of the night, this is the weirdest
I'm going to
thing.
stop you there again. Do you know how old you sound right now? It was so good. They were very generous with the portions.
Hold on. Wait for it. Because in the middle of the night, and again, we went to bed at like 9. In the middle of the night, I am thinking about Chris. This is about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Sounds creepy right now.
Why am I thinking of Chris, Mary? Why do you think I'm thinking of Chris at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I know why. You forgot to pre-Pepto.
I did not pre-Pepto. I had heartburn and indigestion. Almost threw up. And I was like, we don't have any heartburn medicine because I'm like, I never get heartburn.
Oh, out here living willy-nilly when you know way better. Have you learned nothing? Have you learned nothing from us?
I know, right? So I think I texted both of you first thing in the morning, and I'm like, yeah, major Chris fail or something. I needed to have this indigestion medication because I almost threw up in the middle of the night, and it was awful.
Oh, man.
So weddings are fun, and we were the oldest couple there outside of like the family. The bride is in her 20s, the groom is in his like early 30s. So we were the oldest ones there. And what's funny about weddings, and I'm not going to mention any names, but it is like a Tinder rally. It is like Tinder, like Tinder in real life. Like who's going to hook up with who? They're like, swipe left, swipe right. No, not that cousin. Not that aunt, not that
This is Alabama.
And then
what
there's
are you talking
certain
about?
rules that you like, okay, we can't hook up with them, can't. So it's like this whole like plan that goes on that you hear, I'm one of the groomsmen, so I hear all the plans and all that. So,
I was more concerned about not with that cousin, because remember you're in Massachusetts now. You're not in Florida anymore, Scott. Your proximity to Alabama is
it's a little too
further.
far. Yeah, you
but
can't. It doesn't quite reach there.
Right. So we're the day up. We're there at we're supposed to be there at 10:30 to start setting up. We get there at 9:45. Why? I don't know. That's what time Rachel wanted to get there. And I'm like, I don't think anybody's
reasonable.
There. Yeah. And nobody she's like, well, just in case someone gets there early. And I'm like, they all went out last night. This is a bunch of dudes. Like, this is the groomsmen that are coming to set up. It's not the bride's people. It is the groomsmen. It's like, well, maybe no, they showed up exactly at 10:30. So she's in her element. She's directing traffic. She's directing the wedding coordinator, the bartender, all of us. She gives me a task. Okay. And it was to organize all the place seating cards by table number. It took 5 of us, Chris, 5 of us to complete this project. Meanwhile, she's got the rest of the wedding all set up. We had one job. One job. But it was a beautiful wedding. When you go to a wedding, trust the professionals. They don't need you to take pictures with your grainy cell phone. Let the professionals do that. You're going to see copies, have fun. So we did stay up pretty late, and unfortunately nothing was open for us on Saturday night, but Sunday morning we woke up and it was a long day. So we went to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Mass.
Oh, nice.
Which was really, really cool. And Rachel, who is not interested in any type of basketball, but she thought it was interesting. And, I caught a tear when we went to the Kobe Bryant section.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
wait, that's the Basketball Hall of Fame?
Yes, the official.
Why is it there? Like, is there a reason why it's there?
Yeah, because that's where basketball was invented.
Well, that makes sense.
At Smith College.
Okay.
In Springfield.
that makes a ton of sense. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. James A. Naismith invented basketball.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. And then we had the best lunch ever right outside, because it's like this whole like mall area right outside the Hall of Fame. It was called Max Tavern. It was so good. But connecting flights, we flew out at 4:00 in the afternoon. Checkout was 11, went to the Basketball Hall of Fame. We flew out at 4, landed in Atlanta early. Like it was we got to Atlanta 30 minutes early, but we had a 2-hour layover. And then of course the flight from Atlanta to Orlando is delayed by about 30 minutes. So we didn't get home till midnight. We were so effing tired.
I don't feel sorry.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You had a long day too, which I can't wait to hear about. But Rachel did have to sit on me.
But more about me. Let's talk about this.
Well, exactly. This is my segment. Rachel did have to sit on me to get my suit on, because I've put some weight on, and couldn't fit
I'm
into.
just visualizing this.
Yeah, couldn't fit
I'm just
into the
visualizing
suit.
this now.
And I think I don't know if I told you the story of the vest and how none of the Florida guys got vests.
I figured that
Correct,
out, by the way.
Yeah. So 90 minutes before the wedding, Men's Warehouse calls one of the groomsmen, like number 4 groomsmen, not even the top 3 of. And they're just like, hey,
How do you know your ranking? Is it like MySpace? Did he have you guys numbered like
Top
friends?
friends.
Like, yeah. Did he have like his
how
top
close
8?
it's how close you are to the best man.
How do you? Oh, like when you stand.
Yeah, the order in which you stand. Yep.
You had me back in the back of the room by a door. What does that mean?
Well,
I actually wasn't even invited. I just got a dress and stood outside.
she was a
Continue on.
real wedding crasher. So Men's Warehouse calls groomsman number 4 90 minutes before the ceremony. Hey, we got your vest ready.
Yeah, and you know what? And the groom and the people who organized the wedding are like, damn it. This was on purpose. We wanted to know. We wanted to keep the Florida people separate from all of us. That was your COVID awareness thing. No vest. Stay 6 feet away.
Yes, that makes sense.
That's probably what it was. But the funny thing, we didn't have time. I mean, the wedding was, any minute, and the drive was like a 3-hour drive. And so they're like, well, we've had them here for 3 days. And we're like, wow.
Oh my God.
You can go S a D at this point because
wow.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Suck it.
Scott.
It's like
bleep that.
It's like Steve Rogers saying,
cut that out.
What's your mouth count?
We're gonna have to cut that out.
All right, when we come back, we've got a lot to hear from Mary and her trip and how long it took her to get home. But before we go to break, today, which this episode is coming out on Sunday, October 3rd, is a very, very, very special day to our Patreon member, Jared. It's your birthday. It is your birthday on Sunday.
Big 3-0.
Big 3-0, Jay?
Big 3.
What plans do you have? What are you going to be doing?
Well, let's see. By this time this episode drops, already Friday the 1st, I'll be spending all day at Universal. So that's going to be
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Saturday 2nd, my birthday. Kind of take it easy. Second to second, I know I'm meeting my grandmother for lunch, so that's going to be nice. But
Oh,
Wow. Very.
kind of setting myself up regarding schoolwork wise to not have all my schoolwork done. So I have nothing to do school wise over the weekend. So just relax.
very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds like an awesome weekend, Jared.
Damn right.
Now, also, in between this break and the next break, right before we come back, you are going to hear our very first little special segment. It's our shout out to content creators, where I do a short little interview with all of our content creator friends and friends who have passions. And you are going to hear our very first one, which is Jared's, coming right up after this break. So I got to sit down and hear all about his passion with trains, and he's got some fascinating stories to tell. So make sure you listen to that in between the break. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising? Merchandising. Merchandising. Merchandising.
That's right. The No New Friends podcast now has merchandising. Please visit the merchandise link in our link tree. That's link, linktr.ee/No New Friends podcast. Or you can go directly to public.com/user/NNF. Get your No New Friends merchandise today. Welcome to another edition of the No New Friends podcast, Content Creator Spotlight. Now with me today is our Patreon member, Jared, who sits in the audience for every single episode. He's super loyal, and he's going to talk a little bit about his passion for trains and also his YouTube channel. So, Jared, tell me a little bit about your passion for trains. What got you into trains?
2 reasons. One, the railroad is in my blood. I have ancestors that during the early years of the steam era during the 20s worked on the railroad. What I've heard so far from my family, on my mother's side, that some of the family worked as part of the Gandy dancers, track guys working on the Clinchfield Railroad back up Tennessee in western North Carolina. Really, it's all back to my roots. Like then myself, growing up in Winter Park, the Orlando area, trains, Amtrak was constantly out by me daily. If I was not in school, I was hanging out at the old freight depot there in Winter Park, the farmers market, and watching it. There was one trip I got to go up via Amtrak up to Richmond, but my final destination was Williamsburg, Virginia. I've been around it all my life. Really, it was something when we get more into the miles and a hobby where I could have shared not only with myself but with my dad and both my late grandfathers. So it was really a family thing that we got to share together.
Very cool. Jared, what's your favorite train?
The one directly in my virtual background, the Clinchfield 800. That particular locomotive is one of the very first Streamline era of diesels. That particular one was made back in the late 40s. So it's really a unique class on its own. And back then, being from the Clinchfield, again, from my family roots, it makes it that more special. That particular night, it was a very special photo shoot that my Rail Society, the Central Florida Railroad, the Southern Appalachian Railroad Museum, who owns 800 in the city of Winter. It was a joint effort. We managed to get that locomotive, and there's another locomotive behind it, come together and have right beside our Railroad Museum there at Winter Garden. To have that locomotive and be at night, it was absolutely superb shot.
Jared, what's your favorite train memory?
Actually get to work on it. The summer of 2015, I was going into my final semester at Rollins College, but that summer I had an opportunity to do an internship out in Nevada at the Nevada Northern Railroad Museum. And I originally got that as I've been out there in 2008 for a rail camp, and since that time I kept in contact with the president of Nevada Northern. And in spring of 2015, I asked him, and I approached him, hey, would you be interested in an internship? He said, absolutely. They have very few employees, but they're really more get a lot done because they're volunteer efforts. I'm happy to be I'm really one of the furthest distance members of the Nevada Northern Railroad Museum, but happy to be a part of it. I was out there for 10 weeks out in the Nevada desert, really high Nevada desert. I was at an elevation over 6,000 feet. We're high in the day, upper 80s, maybe the low 90s. Once the sun goes down over the Nevada mountains, it drops immediately down to the 60s. It was nice and nice. After a long day work on the railroad, I was still in the uniform, but I'll be in a rolling chair sitting on the rear platform, just eating a bowl of cereal and just enjoying nature, enjoying the breeze.
Now, Jared, you are the newest member of Remy's Roundtable. What's your favorite aspect of being on Remy's Roundtable?
I think it's just a matter of, it's kind of the middle ground. You got two that are directly involved in one way with Disney. Remy has been his a third-party cast member. Chris, I think he's maybe a third party or still directly part of the Disney company. Dane, I think it's also hilarious. Like, even for being from Pennsylvania, but me coming in into Remy's Roundtable was not expected at all. I did not anticipate Remy bringing me on like this, but I must give him some serious props because I was really engaged in the episodes we've been on, even as a listener, how well I did the latest episode with the 5-Minute Professor. The listeners have not listened to that episode. You need to listen to it. I think it's one of the best episodes with the 5-Minute Professor. And I really blew everybody's mind how really intelligent I was. And I was literally, some of the answers really nailing right on the head.
Yeah, you're really good at trivia. Now, you've got a YouTube channel. You can find Jared. It's just Jared Reynolds, YouTube. Jared, what do you have on that YouTube channel?
So mainly, that's all mine. It's mostly railroad related. Some is real stuff. Some from the videos I took from out there from the Nevada Northern. Some are from videos I took a lot of railroad clubs that I'm a part of. I've taken some videos of highlighting some of my trains and the club's trains there in the layout. Others are trips I've done with either personally or some are with the group. Like, for example, like I have a 40-minute video up right now of when I rode a Bright Line from Fort Lauderdale to Delray Beach, because at the time Miami Central was not yet open. I have a video up of highlighting the door knocker that I forged. Another one I did of making a wooden spoon. Like, I have various stuffs on there of things I have an interest in. I may put up an interest or I may not. It depends. Because I'm not really dedicated to one specific topic, like this, ordained, or known to friends. But it's a variety of stuff that I have an interest with. Mainly it's what I feel to be history of the local area.
Gotcha. Well, I want to thank Jared for joining us today on this spotlight on content creators. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel, Jared Reynolds, and then also you can hear him on Remy's Roundtable podcast that's streaming on all major platforms. Jared, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, Scott.
Hey, this is Mike and Tom, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Goodbye. Hey, this is Mike and new friend. No. You say and Tom. You want no new friend. No, you say and Tom. And Tom. Hey, all right, go. Take 40. Hey, this is Mike and Tom, and we're with the Gina McReynolds Foundation, and thank you for listening to the Hey, this is Mike and Tom. And we're with the Gina McReynolds Foundation, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. And Tom.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. As always, just connect with us. That Linktree link right there in the episode description, the show notes. I wasn't sure which one I was going to do. I got.
I'm making a lot of faces, and I forget that you can't see them.
We feel them.
Now, right before we went to break, or actually in the last segment, I talked about my weekend with the wedding and all the adulting that I failed to do and all that. Now, Mary, you had a fun weekend. You had a girls' weekend this weekend.
I did. I had a long, I wouldn't even call it a weekend. So my fun started early Wednesday morning. And it rolled all the way through to Sunday. So it was, I'm still recovering, I think, maybe a little bit, both mentally and physically. So I flew up. I was in Chris's neck of the woods. I was in the city for a little bit.
We had a really nice time when she came into New Jersey and she let me know she was here. We met up for lunch. It was really nice.
Actually, he ignored all of my calls, all of my texts.
Guilty.
He did. I was like, hey, I'll be at the Newark airport for the foreseeable future. And he's like, man, that sucks for you.
I was like, I think they changed the restrictions from 6 feet to 6 miles, man. I'm not going to be able to get anywhere close to you. I'm
6
sorry.
state stretches. Is what
Jersey sucks so much that even the residents don't want to go into Jersey.
It's true. It's true.
North Jersey, a different animal.
Yeah. It is a different animal. So I did... I had a lovely time in the city. I got to dash through a rainstorm in Manhattan. That was a good time. I did have my first PSL of the season, pumpkin spice latte. Thank you. I was very happy. It made my heart very happy. So that was a good time.
The liver wasn't quite sure about it, though.
Liver wasn't quite sure. So this rolled into my girls' weekend that's been planned for a while. It was supposed to start Friday morning, and I had planned this out perfectly. My flight was leaving Newark at 7 a.m. I was going to land in Orlando at 9:45 a.m., just in time for a nice boozy brunch with all of my friends, and, enjoy the weekend.
Really? All of your friends?
Oh.
The ones that count right now.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Listen. You got 2 segments to talk about all your wild, crazy things. Now, let me just tell my story, sir. Sit back and relax.
You know we're going to interrupt.
I know. My flight got canceled.
Not delayed. Not delayed.
No, just canceled. You want to hear the best part of this? So I am in the shuttle from my hotel. In front of me, there are 2 pilots from JetBlue. Behind me, there are 2 flight attendants from United. I was flying United. And, I hear, as we're pulling in where I'm getting dropped off from the shuttle, shit, our flight got canceled. What the hell? They didn't send us anything. No. And in my mind, I'm like, haha, suckers. And then I look on my app, and it was actually my flight also. We were on the same flight, which was awful. So bad. So then I attempt to go to a guest service line to maybe get on a different flight. Y'all, I witnessed something that I have never seen before in my entire life. And it made me deep dive down the YouTube rabbit hole. We'll call it the Ubit tube. I saw like two, I'm gonna say Jewish men, and that's what they said they were Jewish, but I don't know if it's like a
Orthodox
specific.
Jew.
Yeah, so they walked up to each other, and I thought they knew each other based on how they were speaking to each other, like they were acting like they were old friends, and then I started to hear what they were actually saying, and one was like, "Oh, where are you headed?" And he was like, "Oh, I was supposed to go to Chicago, whatever, da da da." And one of them was carrying this case, like it was a clear case, and it had like this stalk of some type of plant. I didn't know what it was. And then before they walked away, the one guy was like, "Do you have time?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "What is happening here?" The guy pulls out this, it looked like a lemon to me, out of his bag, unzips the other bag, the case, and has, the plant. And it's some sort of, prayer, I guess. And you take the lemon, you put it by the plant, and you shake it, and you say some stuff, and then you turn and you shake it some more. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, ever. And I'm trying not to stare. Meanwhile, the lady next to me is like Snapchatting it because she feels the same way, I'm assuming. But I thought that would be disrespectful.
Witness a crime?
Yeah.
Listen, this is where it gets better.
Either that or is recreational drugs legal in New York?
No, listen, guys, listen. It was
tolerated.
Cool. But then another dude comes walking by and he's like, "Oh, do you mind?" And he grabs it too and does it. And I didn't. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what this is." So then I went down the rabbit hole, but that's probably a good thing because I ended up stuck at the Newark airport for 16 hours. I got to the airport at 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. I left at 8:45 p.m., I think. When I finally got on a plane, I got home at around 1 a.m.
Mary, wait, hold on. I feel very bad for all this time stuff, but we got to rewind for a second. What did you search? Okay, so you see all this happen. What does one search on YouTube after they see this? Like, what was your first?
I think the way now. Did you find it? So the way I found it was
I just said
Jewish
Orthodox
prayer.
prayer with a lemon.
Yeah, that's what I did, and it's actually not a lemon. It's actually like a different type of citrus.
It's a
right.
Wave the lulav and etrog on sukkah.
You messed all of that up a lot.
How did we not know this? Like, how are these Orthodox Jewish people carrying around these citrus fruits and plants, and we're just finding out about this?
This is the first time I'd ever seen it in my entire life.
It's a positive commandment from the Torah, Leviticus 23:40, to gather together the 4 species during Sukkot.
Okay. I'm going to go on the limb and say that's not how it's pronounced.
I don't think that's...
On the first day, you shall take the product of hater trees, branches of palm trees, boughs of leafy trees, and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice.
So you take the hater and suck it?
I guess so. I don't know.
That's what you said. Okay, so long story short, I basically spent a full mortgage at various bars at the Newark airport. I will say thank you for installing the iPads that you can just order the things from on your own and swipe your card. Less human interaction while I sit there and look up Suck It in peace. Okay, so I land. I decide just to go home and sleep and show up to girls' weekend early the next morning. I get a couple hours of sleep, show up. The first thing I'm handed is a Jell-O shot. And that's when I should have known. I should have known that things were probably going to be a little slippery. And they were. We hung out by the pool. I thought that I was still super athletic. And much like I was on the dive team, I dove so well that I hit the bottom of the pool and skinned my chin real bad. Like, it was bleeding.
I have a question about this.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to visualize what you did. And what dive ends in your chin hitting the bottom?
Okay, so I dove real hard. real hard. So the way the pool is shaped and how the like shallow end to deep end kind of like shelves off is really odd. Like, it just goes down quickly. So I just happened to hit that like the shelf where it like before it drops off. So I guess I just dove out. I did like a flying squirrel dive. Like, I just flew out a little too far and went too deep.
That's Scott laughed because he never heard of anything going down quickly.
That's exactly why I was laughing.
So here's the best part though, is I found that if you've had 4 to 12 Jello shots, you don't feel things like that. It didn't hurt at
What a
all.
concept.
Not
Wow.
one bit. Now, when I woke up the next morning, I realized quickly that 33 is far too old for Jello shots.
Oh my
and
God.
somebody
33 is the peak for Jello shots.
It is not, Scott. It is not. My chin says elsewise.
Well,
okay?
no, that has nothing to do with the Jello shots. That's
it was
poor
real
decision
bad.
making on the dive into the pool.
Was. And I ate a bunch of pizza and kept drinking and then slept, woke up. And have you ever had a walk of shame where you were embarrassed for your children to see you? Like, that's what it was like. Like, I got home and they're like, oh my gosh, Mommy, we're so happy you're home from your trip. What happened to your face? Like, that was the conversation. Like, I didn't want my own children to see my face because I had busted it on the bottom of a pool. And I was like, oh, I was doing a dive and I just hit the bottom of the pool. I left out the Jello shot part. Maybe it could have been a learning lesson for my children, but I decided to leave that part out. Anyways, so I had to go to work the very next day after not being in the office for a while. And a big part of what I do is a lot of Zoom calls. And it's real rough to do a lot of Zoom calls when it looks like you are growing out a goatee. Like, that's what the chin injury started to look like. So I started being very creative with how I position myself in my camera. Like, I just kind of put my hand up or tilted to the
Or
side.
she was a cat.
Or I was a cat. I should have made myself a potato is what I should have done, because that's what I felt like. I had enough vodka that I probably became a potato. So yeah, that was the girls' weekend. The best part is my chin looks basically back to normal today. Not that you could tell because there's no video, but yeah, I'm back to my merry self, and it was a fantastic time. Wonderful times had by all. See, I summed up a whole Wednesday to Sunday in 5 minutes, Scott. Maybe
That was
you could
pretty
take
impressive.
some notes there, buddy. He's looking around the room. He doesn't even want to make fake eye contact with me right now, even though he can't see me. That's what he's doing. He's doing his very best.
We have a few minutes left here. I'll tell you about my exciting thing this weekend because it's only one little story. I got the new iPhone, guys. I got the 13 Pro in Sierra Blue.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
And
can you describe what is Sierra Blue exactly?
It's like a blue, but a little I'm more on the Sierra side of, of the spectrum of blue. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a real big Apple nut, so I pre-ordered this thing the minute it went on sale, and then of course when the Apple gives you pickup times to choose from, right? And the mall opens at 10, but Apple has their own entrance now, so now you can pick up your phone as early as 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow!
So when I pre-ordered it, I hit 8 a.m. pickup time, and when I hit submit, I instantly regretted it. Something like, I do not want to wake up at 8, before 8 in the morning to go get this phone. This is not something that needs to happen the first thing that I wake up in the morning. So I did it.
Want to be there at the beginning, as they cut the ribbon or whatever it is they do.
Idea. Yeah, I had no idea it was that big of a deal. So I get there. There's a line, right? So I'm in line. I'm the 10th person in line, and they open at 8 o'clock. Apple workers are like state workers. They don't work until exactly the clock strikes 8. So I get there. First of all, couldn't sleep the night before because it was not even because I was excited. It's because I knew I had to be up so early and knew I had to go to sleep.
Yeah, you just had
those are the nights, that you can't sleep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So I'm there. They open the doors. I kid you not. When we walk in, they're applauding us. Everyone's clapping for us.
And you're
as we walk in.
I
All
am
the
a winner.
employees. Oh
I
my
am.
gosh.
Look at me. I have
Instantly
the Sierra
made me
Blue
feel-
phone. I'm going to pick up. I am a winner.
So I go in. I pre-ordered the new iPad mini and the phone, right? I'm not rich. I'm just in crippling credit card debt.
Wonderful. Blessings. That's what your 20s are for, Chris. You're doing it up, dude.
I'll worry about it when I'm 30.
Yes.
So
future Chris's problem.
when I go into the store, so the guy's helping me out with the, and he brings up the iPad and the phone, and he just looks at me straight in the eyes. He goes, "This is a big day for you."
Oh my gosh! No, you're like, I won't even feel this special on my my birthday, my wedding, my child's birth. You're like, you're right. This is a big day for me.
Like this was the birth of my child. I agreed with the guy. I know this is a huge day. So I'm walking out, and I kid you not, everybody I passed by, congratulations. It was about 8:15 in the morning on Friday, the 26th. My life peaked. everything else is going to be downhill from here. That was probably the greatest, happiest, most exciting moment of my life. Thanks to the people over at Apple. Everything else is downhill from there. Exactly. Until we do it all again next year.
Well, get in line at 8:12.
This was the first time I ever waited in line, and I loved it. I'm going back next year. This is going to be an annual thing for me now.
I think it should be. He's going to be all, like constantly chasing that high, like forever. Like just that tiny hit of dopamine he got while he was there. May I suggest crack cocaine, Chris? Because that might be
next
the
year,
only way
I'll
up from
definitely take
here.
you up on that.
How is the iPhone 13?
It's actually, so when I watched the keynote, because I that was another thing I do, is I sit in front of my TV for 2 hours and watch the whole presentation as it goes on live. I was very disappointed. I'll tell you what, it's a great phone. It's the camera on it I now have a camera that can make phone calls. That's what the phone is now. It's that good of a camera, and the screen's different. It's just the back of the phone is like almost all camera now. But it's great. No, I love it. It's great. It's because I swear they put something in this chip they put in me, or there's something in the waves. I need Apple's newest thing every single year. I don't care how much debt it puts me in. I don't care if they charge me an extra $20 a month so I can do it. I like gladly. I don't go places like Emily asked to order out. No, I'm trying to save my money. A new iPad releases, $600, no problem. I'm
there.
No buyer's remorse, nothing. It's like I need this. I'm buying it. I have 2 iPads now. Why do I have 2 iPads?
I know why. I'll tell you why. Because it's shiny. You're just collecting stuff.
That's it.
Chris.
Just I'm just a collector, and I'm an investor, so I'm just helping myself.
Yeah.
Please talk me off the edge, guys. Please help me.
I don't know. You're too far gone for me. I'm sorry, but I will. I'll still encourage you and just watch your downward spiral and be there to help you up later.
That's what true friends are for.
Yeah, I'll encourage you though. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really a big time in your life.
It was a great day. Oh, that's funny, man.
Okay, so what are the differences between that one and the one that I just got, which is the last one?
Well, it's 120 hertz refresh rate on the screen now, which you probably
have
no idea what that means.
Baxter, you know I don't speak Spanish. Like, what are you talking about?
And it's a different shade of blue this year.
It's a Sierra blue.
Yeah,
I have a mint
that's
green.
pretty big.
I was about to show you on the screen, but you can't see me.
And there's a better camera on there now. So that
as we heard the whole phone.
And there's a macro lens on it, which means you can get really close to things. But I read something the other day that couldn't be any more true. They're like, what are you going to use the macro lens on, other than just showing how good the macro lens takes a picture? Because there is no circumstance where you need to be 3 centimeters away from what you're taking a picture of, unless you're just showing, hey, look at this macro lens of my phone. Like that's the only. And I've like when I'm showing people my phone, I'm like, hey man, look at this, and I just turn on the macro lens and I get real close. They're like, wow, that's awesome.
And so you can take a picture of ants.
Yeah.
Maybe we should use it to take a picture of your sign and make it look more impressive.
Oh, there it is.
You can borrow it for something else too, Scott.
Wow. All right. On that note.
You killed him. You killed Scott. Way to go.
As always, please connect with us. Our Linktree link is right there in the show notes, the episode description. Join us on Patreon. Connect with us on Facebook, the Instagram, YouTube. Check out our really sweet merch. If you listen to us on Apple, please rate and give us a 5-star review. On behalf of Mary and Chris, I'm Scott. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.